So in the walk in this session, she gets a little bit quick from the whip sometimes. So what I do is a lot of downward transitions, or not downward transitions, but just these shorter and longer transitions, and just really focus on being able to go a little tap off the whip there, you can see, forward, and really encouraging her that for the whip should just mean take nice longer strides. You can see there that she's a little bit quick in the walk and not over tracking as much as normal, just because I've got the whip and because it's the start of the session. Here I'm switching the position of the whip to just a little tap on the hindquarters, so basically asking her to yield her quarters over a little bit. Good. And then what that teaches her is basically how to move off my right leg, or how to diagonally move the right hind leg under her body, as opposed to just move it up under the body when you use it on the girth. So I'm going to repeat this video again just because, or maybe even again after this, so that I can keep talking about it. But see these shorter transitions here. Really, it's important that you keep doing those with her, because she is oversensitive to the bit, and particularly when she gets a little bit more sensitive to the leg, she also gets a bit more sensitive to the contact too sometimes in the beginning. So these little transitions are really important, and just notice how I'm trying to walk my hands, or let her walk her neck there, to encourage those longer strides. Don't let yourself get a stuck hand. This little bit here is just to teach her a little bit of that leg yield, or show you a little bit how you can use the whip. I haven't really taught her to do this because it's a little bit harder than just your simple mini renvers and travers positions that we had, that I'll show you next. So it's really important here that you just keep focusing on using the whip on the rib cage for forwards, and using it on the bum for move the quarters to the left, for example, if you've got it in your right hand. And obviously on the right shoulder would mean move your shoulders to the left as well. Remember that in the beginning of the session too, that we don't do any of this kind of stuff until we've just let her walk out and let her walk her back nice and relaxed, especially when you use the whip, because it does really make it a little bit more tricky. You can use the whip to tap her through things, but you just want to let her chill out and walk around to start off with. The footage here I've got in the walk is not very good, unfortunately, because I just got her to take quick things before I get into the renvers and travers. But the main idea is just to teach the horse that when you use the aid, to not run off it, and just to do nice simple transitions. What I didn't show you here was probably even just being able to go, and here she really doesn't like moving to the side off that, but she has to learn it, and this is a simple way to teach. But what I didn't show you was just simple walk-halt transitions from the whip, so making sure that obviously the halt comes from the reins and the seat, but the forwardness off the whip just comes from a light tap forward, and I've done a couple of those with her, but that's a good one to remind her. So just tapping her forward off the whip, and you can do the same up to trot as well. You can do the same within the gait and really teach the horse to just walk, or walk longer from the whip only. When it comes to the renvers position, you can see how on the right rein, the renvers position involves putting our hands to the left and keeping our right leg on to, say, quarter stay on the wall. This is where you can use the whip a little bit on her bum, on her right side of her bum, to improve the effect of your right leg. But you have to make sure that you keep the horse nice and soft through the left rein. And this also really teaches the horse how to go from the right leg into the left rein. So if they get particularly strong through the outside rein, or she starts to fall out through the left shoulder, then riding this position would be really good for her. The other one which you're about to see next, as it starts to walk again, is the travers. And you have to really make sure that when you're setting up for the travers, so we'll let it walk here. So here I've taken a nice circle and just let her walk around my right leg. So there I've just gone back to normal, not renvers on the circle, but just turning her off the outside rein. Whoop, there she went in through the inside leg. Good. And then left leg back, and there you can see I'm really keeping the hands out to the left to make it nice and obvious. I want to really feel like it's not pushing the right rein into the neck too much, just opening of the left rein, keeping the right leg nice and open so that she can get that positioning. So there in the travers, I've just freeze framed it for a second. You can see the horse is just on 3 tracks. It's a mini travers. It's not a big full travers that's on 4 tracks, just a mini travers, because the whole idea here is to teach the horse to just be able to move the shoulders and hindquarters independently without getting that locking up feeling against the hand or against the leg that she would used to give us. So it's really important that we have to kind of skip ahead and do stuff like this to teach her to be nice and supple to the reins without moving her quarters around, or be nice and supple to the legs without stiffening up against the rein. So still with the whip on the inside on this rein, I usually keep the whip in my right hand for her, because in the travers, she likes to bulge through her right shoulder. It's quite easy to get her quarters in, but hard to keep them in without her right shoulder bulging through. So as I've got the right rein a little against the neck there, I can also tap that right shoulder a little bit over towards the left to help her slot into that outside left rein. So here the timing is really important in the renvers on the left rein. You have to nudge as the left hind pushes off, which is as the right front comes forward. So it's like a nudge, 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 nudge. You don't take off the pressure in between these nudges, but you just lighten the pressure. It's like a little extra push as you are in between the little lightnings. So making sure here as we go to work on the travers to the left, we have to then nudge as the outside hind pushes off and the left front goes forward. So here we go. Nudge, 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 nudge. Good. Very nice. So as we move into the trot work, we want to think a nice slow trot. It doesn't have to be too forward. With her, if you go too forward too quick, you end up getting a whole lot of resistance that's really hard to get through. So it's really important in the trot work to just focus on a nice even pace where it's easy to keep her between the reins. There you can see she's really nicely connected into the outside rein and the inside rein, so it's nice and even there. The lateral work that we did in the walk will really help with the positioning in the trot of getting her to take that outside rein. Good, and we just don't forget too, just the simple transitions of walk to trot and things like that, and especially doing it from the whip. Here you can see I'm working through the outside flexion, just opening the inside rein, pushing her off the outside leg, but trying not to let her quarters dive in as I do it. So see, you can see they're moving a little bit out, which is good. That's me pushing it off. So doing that on a circle is kind of like a little bit of a renvers down the long side. Good, here I'm focusing, there I'm focusing a little bit on the travers. And see how I'm rising on the inside front diagonal there? That's because I want to nudge as the left hind pushes off into the right front, which can really help. Then I've switched back to the normal diagonal and I'm back to the shoulder 4. Good. Good, and here we just work a little bit on the renvers position. So thinking nudge, nudge, nudge as I rise. Just thinking hands a little right, and it's just a mini renvers position. We don't need to do full renvers, because that's too difficult for now. Good, so again, still just nice slow trot. Here I think I might come around on a circle, or it might be a change of frame. Good, so then I have to focus on pushing her into the new outside rein. She likes to fall right through the shoulders, so it's very important when you change from the right rein to the left that you keep the right rein really quite closed on her neck as you push from your inside leg, because she does tend to want to fall out through that shoulder quite a lot. You even need to be ready with that outside leg as you come off the wall. As you put the outside rein here on the neck to say turn off the wall, we need to back it up potentially with a little outside leg, because sometimes she's very delayed on that. That's good. So here we can work through a little bit renvers. And again, here in the renvers, I just stay on the outside front diagonal, so normal diagonal, nudging with my left leg, keeping the hands to the left, can tap with the whip a little bit as I do it. That's good. And the renvers position really helps with the shoulder 4 position.